rolled in, burning people and trees within its path. Tenderfoot is a work of fiction taking place during the months surrounding the Mount St. Helens eruption. The characters in this novel are fictitious, with the exceptions of Washington State Governor Dixie Lee Ray, Harry Truman, an old-timer who for 54 years ran the Mount St. Helens Lodge in the shadow of the mountain, and geologist David Johnston, whose radio warning, "Vancouver, Vancouver, this is it," alerted the world of an eruption of unbelievable magnitude. Whenever possible, the geological events leading to the eruption are factual, as are descriptions of the aftermath. Although the characters have been fictionalized, various experiences of blast victims represent true accounts. Chapter 1. As I See It, Kevin Walsh, Clearwater News staff columnist. March 20th, 1980. Mount St. Helens is grumbling, like an old man waking up from a long nap. University of Washington seismologists recorded an earthquake measuring 4.1 on the Richter scale, about 20 miles from Mount St. Helens. They're speculating our America's Fujiyama may be in for a little action. Lost again. Corrie's sweaty hands gripped the steering wheel, her stomach clenched. Sometimes it seemed to her that she'd spent the better part of her life lost. She wished she could think of it as an adventure, but it was unsettling, not knowing where she was. She turned off the highway to get a better look at this part of the country. Ranch country. She was more than ready to quit the city with its crazy traffic and congestion. And why not move? No one at home needed her attention now that her daughter Gwen was away at college. Actually, there was no one at home besides her Labrador retriever, Bo. She could do what she'd always wanted to do, right in the country, about the country, and observe firsthand this kind of life. But where to start? Even more important right now, where was she? If she could just find that highway again. Didn't they believe in street signs around here? There's a sign. Great. A sign with a cow. 400 feet. She smiled, remembering. When they were kids, her older brother used to swear that pedestrian crossing 50 feet meant 25 people. Using that logic, 100 cows would be crossing ahead. The road curved sharply with a bend in the river, and suddenly a huge bunch of cows blocked the way. Big cows, little cows, brown cows, spotted cows. Corrie slammed on her brakes, and at the same time noticed a guy on horseback signaling to her. What? She had her hands full trying to stop. A cow stepped right in her path, and she turned sharply to avoid it, and skidded to a stop, crosswise on the road. She felt a soft bump on the passenger side. She could barely see anything through the dust she'd created screeching to a stop. Oh my God, did I hit that cow? Corrie opened her door and was halfway out when the guy on horseback yelled, "Get back in your car!" She quickly backed in and slammed the door. Lowering the window, she started to lean out. "I'm so sorry." Before she could finish her apology, a cow stuck its huge head through the window, forcing her back. It slobbered on her arm and shoulder. Ew. The guy was right beside the car now, barking sharp commands at the cattle, hopefully. "Ha, ha! Get away from there!" The cow banged its head on either side of the window as it backed out, splattering more slobber on her arm and leg. The gooey stuff dripped a crooked stream down the inside of the car door. The air was filled with sounds of a horse's heavy breathing, creaking leather, jangling tack, the man's yelling, and then a loud bellow from the cow echoed throughout the car. Corrie, realizing she'd been holding her breath, breathed deeply. The car reeked of cattle. Another fellow, younger than the first, appeared on horseback, also yelling. "What's the holdup?" The cowboy closest to her just shook his head. "Take him on over, Chad. Where's Julie?" Chad pointed vaguely in another direction as he took over herding the cattle off the road. The cowboy closest to Corrie climbed off his horse and stepped over to the car, leading his horse. He shoved his big hat back and stooped to look into the car.